Part 2.
Yes.
Yep, far away.
What are your best memories working here?
Well, the Glassworks or as a whole.
Well, let's just change it to
Because for the Glassworks, it'd be really
let's just
difficult.
change it to what are the best memories of your life, because it seems to be like
No, it's
for
fine.
the teachers and I can't teach.
It's
so.
fine. I want to clarify whether this is.
Well, I can do both. I can do 2. We can do 2. Why don't we do 2?
Okay, I'll attempt to.
Okay.
First is best memories, then worst memories.
Okay.
Right.
So,
We can combine those 2 questions into one. We go.
Easy, Kelly.
yeah, no, I do have memories in my head, but one of them is going to get me fired. So
Yeah, I think we've all got that worst memory, which will get us fired.
So
We'll leave that.
I'm going to leave that one.
Leave out the firing.
It's so
right,
funny, and I wish I could tell you. I'm going to tell you guys, but I can't tell you. So
Tune into the extra.
Well, we bug Miss Vanderhoeven's room.
I don't know. In terms of the main site, because I've worked here for so long, there are just lovely, lovely people here, and sometimes it can be quite a difficult place to work, and sometimes students aren't particularly the nicest people, and sometimes they can have a bit of a go at you, and so you end up making friends with loads of people. Paul Schilling. Do you know who I mean by Paul Schilling? So he's
Terrifying to see all year 7. He's the most terrifying person.
And now he's wearing army gear as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I don't know who Paul Schilling is.
Paul Schilling is like that sort of head of the GMs, but he's head of Foster House at the moment, and he sort of wanders around, and he's a bit of a nerd.
Gruff man.
Yeah.
He's ex-army, so he's a bit like.
I know you
He's
mean.
a bit of a Jason Statham, to be honest.
I was walking out of the academy once.
He
That
wishes.
is such a culture thing.
Wishes. But I think it was the first year that I was here, and one of the kids had just made my life hell on that particular day.
Was it me, was it?
No, it wasn't you.
Perfect.
It was a bunch of girls. And
Janelle.
and it was before the fire doors actually were alarmed, and I'd gone in there for a bit of a cry, and he'd found
A cry?
Yeah, and he'd
It's what
found
teachers do if you didn't
Yeah.
know best.
and he'd found me, and he gave me a cuddle.
In the toilet.
No.
No.
In
the fire
door.
exit.
Oh, in the fire door.
exit.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I'll edit that bit out.
Yeah.
Let's.
And no, and so and it was don't let the buggers, I'm gonna say, get you down type of thing, and so incredible sweetness and kindness, in lots of various places, at work, when you're having a really sort of rough day, from people that you spend more time than you actually spend with your family.
In most cases.
Yeah. And you do, and I have had belly laughs. So Emma Newman, all the kids had gone home. Emma Newman and Matthew Wright had.
These are teachers.
Yeah,
so.
they're teachers. Emma Newman, and she was vice principal. Matt Wright was also vice principal. Had got on a pair of roller skates and roller skated around the school. And
Mrs. Newman did that.
Yes, and I just belly laughed. It absolutely just made me really, really super giggle.
See, that's just one of the moments where you see them skating around and you just pray they're gonna just like hit a pen cap or something, and just face plant the floor. Just
Wow, it's all coming out now, Charlie.
Yeah.
like just plotting my end. Like, go on, sir. Sipping that banana skin I just left out.
What?
going to tell you this story now.
Is this the one that you wasn't?
No, so it was that what I did was I decided. So there was a woman called Rachel Brown, who was my head of faculty. Rachel Brown and I decided what we were going to do is we were going to really scare Adam Waters. So what we did was he was head of house, and what we did is we photocopied a pair of massive boobs. They were covered. They were in bras, but massive boobs. And what we did is we waited. So you know the glass.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we waited until we had to be really, really careful that the kids didn't see them. So we waited because he was the head of house. We waited until just he was in the house, and there weren't any kids in there. We waited. We stood there with ourselves pressed up against the glass, with our bodies held against the pieces of paper, so it looked like our boobs.
Even men? Was he man standing there?
No, there was Mr. McWalters. So it looked it looked like our boobs, and just quickly so that the kids couldn't see. And then as soon as the kids turned round, we whipped it away. And just standing there watching his face was brilliant. That was probably my most fun bit of being a Wally around the school. And
I can remember Mr. McWalters.
He's still there. So.
he is still there.
Yeah, but I can remember him when he was my head of house, because he was fun and smiled. And then Mr. Mitchell came along.
Such a good character, actually, Adam.
And now he's
Mr.
gone.
Mitchell's fun.
Mr. Mitchell made me cry.
Everybody makes you cry. Mr. Mitchell was lovely. He just had a really difficult job to do.
He just didn't smile.
He smiled with me.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
Smiled
I've
at
never
me as
seen him
well.
smile.
And he smiled loads in your music classes.
No,
I believe there was a quote that he said once as he came in.
Charlie was very fond of you.
I believe Mr. Mitchell said, and I was never taught by Mr. Mitchell, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Did he say that?
You haven't heard that from him? No, I don't know.
I think Mr. Mitchell's quote was a bit more like he used more dynamics.
Yeah,
That's all he ever said.
He did love dynamics, yeah.
Yeah.
He's all over them.
But
Use
he-
more dynamics, you wouldn't have to say
Like
it.
Mr. Coles then, he's similar to Mr. Coles.
But Mr. Mitchell is
Not really.
absolutely fantastic at getting people through their BTEC. Everybody
Yeah.
got through their BTEC. He just concentrated on getting people through their BTEC. But actually, Charlie, we know, because we were in the office with him, he was actually very, very fond of you. The thing is, and you need to understand that, we get to hear about the different side of how people feel about their kids, and it does become their kids. And when our year 13s go, we're kind of rounding back. When our year 13s go, we'll be really, really sad. And
You'll be.
For most of us.
How? What are you
I'm
gonna do about-
joking.
What are you going to do about
A
Richard?
little bit.
Yeah.
what am I going to do about Rich? Well, at the moment, Rich is annoying me. So, no.
So if you're listening, Richard,
Yeah.
Richard was supposed to be on this podcast.
Yeah.
was
And I
he?
said
Yeah.
he wouldn't turn up.
Well, there
yeah,
you go.
there you go. But no, I absolutely, when Max left last year, I absolutely sobbed.
Like crying.
Who's
Yeah, Max Capon.
Oh, him.
Yeah,
Doug's.
yeah.
Yeah.
Reece, absolutely sobbed when she. But then Reece's stayed in touch. She's best friends with my daughter, and she's been in loads of time and is helping out with the year 12s and 13s.
She's taken a gap year then.
Well, she had to, yeah. Unfortunately, that was not of her choice. Anyway, that's my best and worst time.
Mr. Mortimer?
I'm dreading what Mr. Mortimer's going to say right now.
Well, me too, also, because he could be having a student best and worst time, and considering I taught him.
I'm trying to think back. As a
You're
student,
allowed to
I don't
have
think I
that.
Remember enough. I can remember some worst times, some best times, but
Should we round back?
I'll do it. I'll do
Don't
it.
mention the time that I kicked you.
What
We
about
just
the
did.
time what about the time I kicked the back of your chair?
Yeah, that was great. I purposefully didn't mention it because you always tell me off for mentioning it.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You say, "Oh, okay, you always mention that,"
You do always mention it.
and I didn't.
But that's got to be my worst moment now, because now I feel bad. There you go.
Okay.
It's like an
I'll
episode
do it
of
at
Jeremy
staff,
Kyle.
because my staff ones can be quite quick, because I haven't been here that long. My best moment was house day of end of term, Christmas. So you stay with your form group all day. Me and Mr. Underdown, a great form group. F4, big shout out.
What year was this?
Year 10s they are. They're lovely. And me and Mr. Underdown were DJing on the music decks, playing. Obviously, you try and guess the song. And you know, I had the mic, and I was spitting a few bars, Ben, I'll tell you.
We hear it.
Not right now.
Oh, come on,
But
sir.
in the extra show,
Yes.
get me in the studio. I'll cover live lounge. So you know, that was my best moment. Yeah, was probably that. We had a great day, just good fun. Everyone in good spirits. The school was in good spirits. My worst day was when Mr. Smith left, and his leaving speech, probably as a staff member.
Oh, that's the old head teacher.
Yeah. So the old head teacher. Obviously, we're all called to staff briefing. It was a shock to us all. We didn't know it was going to happen, and yeah, it was just a bit emotional. And the atmosphere just kind of died down. No one really knew what to say. So that's quite easy. Best and worst of the staff. I'll pass on.
Best ones is really hard because there are so many good memories, so many good. You know, from every Academy Rocks that we've done, it's just
The
every
one last year was good.
yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, like all three of them so far.
They just keep getting better and better.
They do.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's weird that an idea kind of that me and Mr. Fullerton literally came up on that desk. It was like, you know what, should we do a gig in somewhere that isn't our school theatre, and has now become, you know, something that is something we have to do at the end of every school year. And I come out and I do that, you know, I do that speech at the end of every single one, and I'm just
One
I
of
don't
which is recorded, and I've got a copy of it.
and I just never really know what to say because it's always the quality just improves year after year after year.
There will be one person who I want to shout out that you'll probably miss this year.
Go on.
Ryan Burgess.
Yeah, why not? So that, and you know, last year doing School of Rock as well, been able to do a musical again, which was the first one we'd done for quite a while. But you know, also things like, you know, going into results days and seeing you know, kids when we used to do the BTEC Unit 1 exam, getting their results and being really happy with that. And little things as well, just little classroom memories of, you know, jokes that have been shared, and there's too many good memories to call the best one. There really are. Worst ones again is it's usually going back to the thing when people leave, and
Miss Symes.
yeah, so any time that someone usually in the performing arts department leaves, it's really sad.
difficult, yeah.
So you know, so Mrs. Symes, who was, you know, she on my first day, she was the one who came down reception and got me. You know, Miss Wild leaving last year is, you know, that's you know, for someone who was only there for a year and just over a year and a half, pretty much, made such a massive impact.
Huge. Yeah.
Mr. Mitchell, so you know, Charlie remembers me and Mr. Mitchell were a bit like, you know, we were the team of Key
Yeah.
Stage 4 music. So you know, the amount of kids that we got through those BTEC qualifications together, and for him, you know, to not be teaching with him anymore.
Best smile I had.
Yeah, you know, so you know, seeing the music department kind of deplete, that's been
So
been something, you know, that's been hard to take this year.
it's a lot smaller now, isn't it?
Yeah.
When I joined, Mrs. Symes, Mr. Mitchell, you, Mr. Fullerton, and the Mr. Bongzone and Miss Braithwaite, and now it's less.
Yeah,
isn't
I
it?
mean, but you know, change needs to happen. You know, if it stagnated for ages with just the four of us, then nothing would ever move on. People need to move on. They need new challenges. So you know, yes, it's sad those people have left, but Mr. Mitchell's gone and got himself a bigger role at Barton Court. Miss Wild is a head of drama. Mrs. Symes is head of music. You know, so people.
And we still stay in touch.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got a Facebook nice little group
Yeah.
that we stay in, because even the fact that we're very old, we still manage to do that, you know, and we're friends, aren't we?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
but that is one of the things that we're very lucky about. You know, we get on, and we're really lucky that in the place that we work, on the whole, mostly, we work with really lovely people.
But yeah,
and
Barton Court, please stop taking my friends.
So it's just sad if there's anything that sort of moves that or shakes that up.
Miss Jenkinson?
So, best memories and worst memories. Yeah, I've been pondering it whilst people have been talking.
I look forward to this.
Well, nothing really stands out as like a really big moment, because in my job I see students in year 13 go on huge journeys. It's such a big formative year for teenagers, you know, and they're making their decisions about what they're going to do and taking those steps. And you know, I've seen lots of students go to university, land apprenticeships, jobs, feel very inspired about their future, which I think, to be honest, is quite an achievement. Sometimes that's quite hard to do, to feel inspired by your future and stuff, because, you know, in the news you don't often hear nice things and whatever, so it's nice to see that in young people. And worst memory, there is one of those. There's definitely one that stands out, and that was I was in my first week in this job, and I'm really not a confident public speaker at all. It terrifies me, it keeps me up at night, makes me sweat loads. And Mr. Himbry made me give an assembly to year 11s, and I didn't think that I was going to do it, but I was so keen to impress and actually sort of do what I was here and being paid to do, that I stood up, but honestly my legs were about to buckle. I couldn't move. And
what do they think of you?
I don't know, Ben, or I just...
I can see you nervous thinking about it.
Yeah. And in my voice,
Do you know what I mean?
it sounded like I was going to cry the whole entire time. Yeah, and that was the worst. But got over it, it's fine. I'm here now.
Live, learn.
Do we have student memories?
Well, I think
You do yours, then I'll do mine.
just to recall, I have seen Mr. Mitchell smile before, and
I would like to
so
clarify.
I think Sal will quite quickly know where I'm going with this. It was
What's your
our
best memory? Sorry.
final performance, and we had to perform 3 songs, one from the 1980s, one from the 1990s, 2000s and 2010. And I can remember someone in my group managing to swear in front of a group of year 7s about 3 times in the space of a minute. When she was...
that's your favourite memory?
Oh, no, it was just the reaction from Mr. Mitchell.
Right.
Because normally if you would swear in front of Mr. Mitchell, he would be livid. But that's probably one of the only times I've seen him laugh as much as he did that day.
It's because teachers don't swear.
Ever.
No.
I've never sworn.
Never in the vocab.
Well,
No.
I really don't like it.
No.
What's your worst memory, Charlie?
Oh, I don't know. I can't. There's too many of them.
Was it yesterday when you didn't turn up to a private study?
Oh, that was.
He
a-
was
that was
probably
a
in
very,
drama.
Very rough day. That.
To be fair,
He was at a driving lesson.
And
Oh.
drama.
and drama.
But, I don't know what my worst memory of school would be.
What about sixth form? What about of the last few months?
Have you been enjoying it more?
I enjoy it more here because we get like the more freedom from like the constant
From the man.
Oppression
oppression of
the tie.
yeah. It's just constant like it's like being locked up in the academy, whereas here
Oh.
we do have more.
You can tell someone's been
Freedom.
studying drama.
I know.
What's that? What are you saying?
We're just locked up and like.
Whereas here we have
That
more
is
freedom.
just that he's articulating very well, miss. Of course.
Yes,
No.
yes, thanks.
I do find I do find music tech a lot harder,
Oh,
but I mean,
Teacher's not as good.
I
no, but
disagree.
like, it's
Doing better stuff. Though.
if it was easy, everyone would do it.
No.
I don't really think I have very many like bad memories of school.
Good.
Apart from when I opened that GCSE maths paper.
I concur.
How about you, Ben?
Worst
Ben, I
memory,
want to hear
maths.
about yours.
Worst-
4 times.
So your,
Maths, hate maths.
what's your best and worst memory then, Ben?
My best memory, it's probably whenever Mr. Field laughs, to be honest.
Doesn't happen that much.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
That one time he laughed.
Yeah.
Every time
They've
we,
written down.
every time we have banter, it's always fun. You know, there's too many good memories to try and pick the best one. I think I speak for everyone when I say that. It's been very short, my time here personally at the Glassworks. I was at my previous school for 5 years. To only be here for 2, it's different. But I'd describe it as being short but sweet.
Oh,
Good.
good.
What do you think you've learned from being here?
I've grown up quite a bit, I think. Although Mr. Field might disagree.
No, I don't
No?
disagree. You have grown up.
Um,
You're painting me out to be such a bad guy. Yeah, Mr. Field wouldn't agree. He's the worst.
That non-smiling music teacher.
all these music teachers, none of them smile. Mitchell, Fullerton, Field.
Charlie, what do you think you've learned?
How to make beats.
I
Banging beats.
can't say it on the podcast, to be honest. It's not to be a little annoying child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you still learning that?
Yeah. He's learned it. He's just not
Learning
applied
it.
it.
I remember my best memory, running to the academy wearing flip-flops on the hottest day of the year to watch School of Rock, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Oh, good. Thank you, Ben.
Cool.
Cool. Next question.
Also, my worst memory walking back that day because it was freezing, and I was wearing flip-flops.
Thanks, you.
Did
Cool,
you stay
two in
at
one
the
day.
school?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
No.
Your best and your worst, one day, sorted.
What a day.
Just don't know where I am with this day.
Next question.
Yeah.
Fire it away.
Oh, sorry. Before we do, what time is it?
10:08.
10:08. Okay. I got a lesson at 10:30 again.
Yeah, same.
What would you say to new students starting in September? Good luck.
Hello. I'm Mr. Field. I'll be your music and music technology
No, I'm
teacher.
not nice to begin with. Am I?
No.
Charlie, am I nice to begin with?
No, it's more like
No.
it's more like you've gone into like a drill sergeant's hall.
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever seen Full Metal Jacket, you'll understand. Like, just you lying down the walls and she's just yelling at you.
I don't yell.
Well,
I express loudly.
Don't
No.
turn up chewing gum to a drama lesson.
No.
Oh, I've done that
Day one.
before.
Now Charlie manages to come in eating quite a lot of different things.
Now, Charlie's favourite one at the moment is coming into a year 13 class when they're clearly working and then just making jokes of them
Yeah.
right in front of me. So, it's not like they're there to work or anything like that, or they have a deadline at the end of the month.
No.
Nah, Charlie's in for the full-on bants. No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eating
that's
food.
always
Yeah.
my fault. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
Joe does cooperate. You got to admit.
Yeah, but
You all know.
He wouldn't have anything to cooperate with if you... Anyway.
Yeah. Breathe.
Yeah. Miss, have you got anything to eat?
I don't always say that.
No,
I
not
don't say that.
always.
I'm just
So what was the
occasionally
question?
hungry.
Sorry.
Is it what we'd
Sorry,
say
what
to
was the
people
question?
starting in year 12? I would say,
stay out the
you-
drawers.
Yeah, stay out
Yeah.
my drawers, first of all. They're mine.
And Mr. Fullerton's part-time.
Yeah, solid part-timers. No, you get out of sixth form, what you put into it. You're not going to have people chasing you up all the time.
Yeah.
If the work's not in, it's not in. You just don't. You won't. You'll get an opportunity to kind of put it in as a reassessment. But at the end of the day, if you want independence, you want to be treated like an adult, then act like one. Also, don't think that I'm going to let you just glide through life, at Glassworks and thinking that you're not going to have a plan for afterwards, as you know, and as Miss Jenkinson knows as well. I'm quite adamant. I'm a big believer in university education, but I know there are other options as well. But I will chase you out to Payers Park. and I'll drag you back into guided learning, and we'll do a UCAS form or apply to something. So, you know, I think people who just visit Payers Park think, oh, look, there's that really tall, angry guy again. Like, just like dragging in these poor kids still with like half a cigarette in their mouth going, oh, sir, I was going to go in a minute.
That was such a good impression.
Was that your impression of Jake Knight there, sir?
Could
No
not
comment.
Confirm or deny, yeah. So good.
That's payback for when he did an impression of you.
He did an impression of me?
Yeah, that's why I was
Wow.
laughing that time.
Oh, okay.
I think that
It's all coming out now, isn't it?
yeah, I think the overall thing that you have to say to them is that this is a very special place. It's a privilege to be here, and that they've got to understand that, and that the more that you work, the better your grade is going to be. It's not really rocket science.
I would just recommend her bringing a coat, because heating just never works.
Yes,
Are you
very
joking? It's a
boiling
flipping
in here.
sauna in here. No.
Well, no,
You've been in the
it's
drama
really
room.
cold.
You've been in the
It's
drama
really
room in the
cold.
winter.
Really
It's down to
cold.
like 4 degrees.
Yeah.
So when the heating wasn't working on one other side and everyone was complaining about cold, it's like, if anything, it's too warm in the music room.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was very, 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 very unhappy. You might have picked that up.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about. No.
I think I got to the point that Miss actually brought a temperature gauge for in the room, just to see how cold it was getting.
Yeah.
Yes,
And it was below.
it
It was below 4
It was meant to be.
at times.
Was it 4?
It was below.
I'll just say that I went to Spain and it was 4 degrees.
What?
I went to Spain and it was also 4 degrees.
Okay.
That's
Where
cold.
did you go in Spain for it to be that?
The wrong place, clearly.
Yeah.
Year 12s, what would I say to them? I'd say it's a magical place all under one roof.
It's a sixth form centre, not Toys R Us.
which are sadly closing now.
I would just say, obviously, that I think one of the big things that, not that we miss, but that they think that we miss, is that they can actually talk to staff if they've got problems. We're not there just to chase them, just to scare them. Like, talk to us about anything.
Yeah.
We are human. We do understand, and we have been there.
Yeah.
That's it, really.
Yeah, and we're on your side, and we're not fighting you. Stop
Yeah,
fighting us.
It's not a battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause that's so dull. I wish they'd learn that by the time that they're year 12.
Yeah, like when I'm asking them if they're behind in work, every time I have to say it, like it's not because I'm having to go at you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I just like I want to know where you're at, because otherwise, if we're not helping, then who is?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Miss Jenkinson?
Ooh, I would just say that your time will go very quickly here, and
I concur.
yeah, it's really shocking, really, when you're in where you're at the moment in sixth form. You're only here for less than a month now, and I remember when you first started, and it just goes so quickly. And I'd also just say less of the chat, more of the working in guided learning, please. That would be nice.
Yeah.
If anyone is up for a joke, it's you. Or occasionally, Mr. Field.
A joke.
No, I think Mr.
Banter in between
I think
lessons.
I think Mr. Mortimer is the one that you joke around with. I mean, it's quite easy to insult.
Yeah, actually,
Ooh.
Charlie.
We might need some new material next year.
I'm what? Easy to insult.
Yeah.
I think the shin
Charlie,
joke is
remember
getting.
that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that next time you have to turn up to private study because you're a driving lesson. Inverted commas. I just did inverted commas.
Any last words?
The last Jesus, the last
Christ,
supper.
Ben.
Last podcast, they all die.
Yeah.
Well, any last words to this year? Any last words to this year's leavers? This is a question for all of you.
Yep. Best of luck. I
Don't
hope-
come back.
Yeah.
Don't mess it up.
Don't forget. It's just the rest of your life, guys. You know, no pressure. Stay in touch. We're very proud of you, but we've always been very proud of you. Just keep that in mind, and have fun and do things. Always say yes,
Apart from if you should say no.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a given,
ovs.
isn't it?
Ovs. And yeah, come back and see us, and let us know how you're doing.
And if you are rich, don't forget us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Clearly.
absolutely. Yeah, and have fun, and do it all, and try and travel. Travel is such a great thing to do. Travel, read, eat different
Pray,
things.
love.
Yeah,
No.
eat, pray, love. Yeah, no. Meet different people. Smell different things. Go to different
Go
places.
beyond your comfort zone.
Yeah, push yourself. To you don't have to like everything for it to be useful. You know, and just have a wonderful time being alive.
I think Kay's covered it for all three of us. hasn't he?
Yeah.
So
Sorry
you-
about that.
Romeo
alright.
done. Yeah.
Sorry.
You have anything to say?
Well, and you know, don't let anyone get in the way of your ambition. Is the last thing I'll put on that.
Miss J?
Yeah, and look out for each other. Be kind to everyone that you meet.
Yeah,
So-
and yourself.
And honest. Be honest with yourself,
Yeah.
not just others.
Well, I think that wraps up this final podcast.
Oh, Ben, so
Oh.
emotional.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Emotional.
Well
So
done
a
with
few,
this.
a few thank yous to all the people that have been on it. I've got to go through them now. Adam Waywell on the first one, Mr. Field.
Both
Oh
Joes.
God, yeah, both Joes. Yeah, third episode. Anthony Pace, Joe Himbury, Ollie Hine, Charlie Rolfe. Oh, there's so many. Got to go through them all. Episode 5. Who do we have then?
Anna Braithwaite, she was on it as well.
Miss
Mr. Fullerton was
Braithwaite.
on it on the
Mr.
never
Fullerton.
aired
Mr.
episode.
Himbury.
Mr. Himbury, Mr. Crofts, Joe Brisley, you, Miss
Me, yeah.
Miss Vanderhoeven, Miss Jenkinson, Scott Layton, sorry, Michael O'Donoghue. I don't know why. Mr. Mortimer. I don't know why I'm starting to forget.
Panic.
How many podcasts have you done, Ben?
About 14.
14.
So I
So
think.
to all four.
Yeah.
Maybe do in case I've forgotten anyone.
In
Yeah.
case
Yeah. Thank you to all of the.
I think I've covered everyone.
Yeah.
I'll add you all to the credits list, of course.
Yeah.
And I've paid you in hot chocolate, so... Oh, well, of course, there is one person.
Me.
Charlie Thorogood.
Yay!
Aw.
Charlie. Charlie, are you
Come on,
going to
Charlie.
take over? Are you going to run this for next year?
If I have the time, I'll probably.
If you have.
If you have
Oh,
the
you're so
time.
busy, Charlie.
You have
aren't
so
you?
much time.
Oh, just so
I
much
hand
moment.
the metaphorical torch to you, Charlie,
That's a very good idea.
to continue this.
It's a nice thing to do.
But yeah, I think a round of
Yeah.
applause.
Yeah, excellent.
Well done, Ben.
He plays some emotional music to kind of to fade out.
Thank you very much for listening. That ends this series of the podcasts and the podcast here at the Glassworks. From now on, I'll be doing my own stuff from here on in this channel.
You're going to be a competitor to Charlie's new podcast then.
Oh.
Bring it on.
Good luck.
Thank you, everyone.
Good luck, Ben.